There are lots of reasons to study in the UK. Everybody knows the two most prestigious universities, Oxford and Cambridge, but there are lots of other universities all doing really fantastic courses. Kids can study engineering, business, politics, international relations. There's lots of things to do in universities that have a great reputation, that are prestigious, and that are going to be well known back in the country that the student comes from. It's really important, as we know, for international students to do their studies in a university that's going to have a reputation outside of the UK when they look for a job later on. Of course, everybody's heard of Oxford and Cambridge, but within the very reputable universities in London, we could talk about LSE, London School of Economics, UCL, University College London, King's College London. There's not only London, there are some great universities outside of London with campuses where the kids live together, the students have their social life together. I could talk about Warwick, Bath, Bristol, Manchester University, lots of great universities with really fantastic courses. When we apply to UK universities, we go through a platform called UCAS. UCAS allows you to apply to 5 different universities, but all with the same personal statement. So you have, before you apply through UCAS, you have to really decide what you want to study. You can't apply to one university for engineering and another university for international relations, because on that platform, within the application, we write what's called a personal statement. A personal statement is a motivation letter of 4,000 characters, so that's 2/3 of a page, in which the student explains why they want to study that subject. The university will look at this motivation letter, will also look at the predicted grades. The predicted grades are the grades that the child's school thinks they're going to obtain at the end of the school year for their A-levels or their IB or whatever, and the teacher's reference. The universities look at the 3 things together and decide whether or not to make an offer to the student. That offer will be conditional. For example, AAA in A-levels or an IB of 38 with higher level 666. And then on results day, the student knows if they've got the grades that they get into that university. 2 main dates to apply to UK universities: 15th of October for all applications to Oxford and Cambridge, and all applications to veterinary, medicine and dentistry. And then the other deadline is the end of January. Sometimes it's the 25th of January, sometimes it's the 26th. They are the 2 main deadlines for equal consideration. That means that the university must look at your application if you get it in before that date. Afterwards, there's the possibility of late application, especially for international students. These are applications made after the deadline of the 25th of January. The universities are not obliged to look at the application, but they probably will. We usually phone the university up beforehand to check that they will still accept an application. Late applications can go up to May, June. The Netherlands is also a great choice. Since Brexit, the cost of studies in the UK has gone up, which means that more and more parents are also looking to the Netherlands for quality education at a more reasonable price. There are 3 types of universities in the Netherlands: the research universities, which are the academic universities, the applied science universities, which are more hands-on, and then the university colleges, which are liberal arts colleges. 3 different kinds of universities, 3 different kinds of applications. Universities that I could mention, very good research universities. I'd talk about Erasmus University, Maastricht, Groningen. The main subjects that international students seem to apply for would be engineering. Delft really would be up there. The great engineering university for courses in English. For business, I would suggest Rotterdam School of Management within Erasmus University. Also Maastricht University is very good for business. Afterwards, we also have students looking for international relations. There I would tend to send them towards Leiden University, also Groningen University. And for psychology, we have a student in Amsterdam who absolutely loves the course. So yes, I would suggest Amsterdam for psychology. Each university has its own way of applying. There is a centralised system called StudyLink, and you have to apply via StudyLink. StudyLink then sends each application off to the university, and you continue the application directly with the university. The most popular courses are called numerus fixus courses. These have an application deadline of the 15th of January. You can only apply to 2 numerus fixus courses within your 4 applications via StudyLink. The numerus fixus courses are more competitive and their application process will be more complicated. After that, each university has its own application system. Some will have interviews, some will have tests to do, some will have videos to watch. Everything's a little bit different, which is what makes the application process more fun. One thing that you really have to remember for the Netherlands, outside of the university colleges, because the university colleges provide accommodation, but if you're applying to a research university or an applied science university, it's the accommodation. It's a nightmare to get accommodation in Holland. Some universities have a small amount of accommodation for students. They will go incredibly quickly. The other students just have to find accommodation on their own, which means that your 18-year-old student will quite often be in an apartment on their own in the middle of town. It's a very independent lifestyle, and I think that is important that the students realise that before they go. It's not for everybody, it can be quite lonely. IE University in Madrid is a great choice for business studies. They have 2 campuses. They have city centre Madrid with the IE Tower, and they have Segovia. Some students start the 4-year course in Segovia and then move to Madrid. Other students who want the social life of Madrid do the whole of the course at Madrid. What I like about IE is their application process. It's not just academic. They look at the student as a whole. It's a holistic approach. The student will have a video to do, they will take a test, but there's also an interview. They want the student to be part of the IE family. So they really do look at the student as a whole and not just as school reports. What I also like about IE is it is a business school in the good sense of the word. It is preparing students for going out into the workplace afterwards. There are a lot of internships. There's a possibility to study abroad. The course is really interesting. Another great English-speaking course in Spain would be ESADE in Barcelona. Again, it's more of a holistic approach. The application process is school reports, but it's also short answer questions to a number of questions about what the student wants to do in the future, his personality, what he enjoys. So they are looking at the student as a whole. Again, ESADE Barcelona, very good business course, very reputable. If the student's hoping to go on to a master's afterwards, both ESADE and EA and IE are good names that will help the student find a good master's degree later on. And another subject that's really interesting to study in Spain would be medicine, dentistry, veterinary medicine. Different countries, different application processes, but all countries, what all countries have in common is that medicine, dentistry, and vet med are really difficult to get into and really difficult to carry on through the training. What's good about Spain is that the private universities have set up a number of courses, both in English. There are also courses in French. For international students who are having problems finding a course, getting onto a course in their own country. These are European courses, so they are accredited. For example, veterinary studies at Cardinal Herrera, it's accredited by the EAEVE, which is the Veterinary Association accreditation. The student can literally come out of the course, and if they're French or German, can go back to their own country and start working as a vet. It is a very good pathway for students who aren't managing to get onto these courses in their own countries. Prestigious university in Italy would be Bocconi University for studying everything related to economics, management, and also international relations. It is a highly prestigious university. Applications are difficult. They set the bar very high. They will be looking at your school grades for the last couple of years, and you have to take an entry test. The entry test, you either take the Bocconi test or SATs. You write there is an application letter to be written, but they are quite clear. It's very much upon your academic grades that you will be selected at Bocconi. Um, International students looking for courses in France probably are either looking for business courses, international business courses, in which case I would suggest ESCP and EDEC. They could be looking for a Bachelor of Science engineering program. Polytechnique France has recently started a bachelor's degree. Polytechnique France is very reputable for its engineering course. It started a bachelor's degree, which is really interesting and has about 70% of international students. And of course, the world famous Sciences Po, which does international relations and has got some great double degrees. For example, Sciences Po UBC in Canada or Sciences Po UCL in London. They're really interesting international relations degrees. All English speaking courses, obviously, very interesting also for international students. Just to wrap up, I think it's important to say that these students have had an international life, whether they be Spanish, French, British, living abroad. As parents, we have opened them up to this international life, which is why they usually want to carry on in an international university, to carry on with this atmosphere of people from all over the world, bringing different points of view and different lifestyles. All these universities that I have mentioned are really good international universities where the students will be in a melting pot with people from other countries, other cultures, other nationalities, and I think that's really great. And it really is the pathway to an international career afterwards.